Welcome back, TVO viewers. Thanks for joining us. Looking forward to another episode, Falcon Winter Soldier.
Down to episode number 5, second last one. But before we get into it, roll that intro. All right, everybody, before we get started on the reaction, do us a huge favor. Don't hit that dislike button. Don't do it. Hit that like button.
That's right. Don't forget to subscribe. And as well, you're definitely not annoying us if you ring the bell.
Hey, run, Johnny boy. You did bad.
Oh, what did they say? The serum brings out the...
Just amplifies you.
amplifies what you are already?
Just lost it.
Just gone crazy.
Break his arm.
Oh!
Nasty.
Oh, man.
Here's-
Oh,
Oh.
man. Oh, boy.
So you can just call me Val, but don't call me Val. Just keep it in your head.
Elaine.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Gold, Jerry. Gold.
That is gold.
We will take him to the raft,
Raft.
where he will live out his days.
He'll be back.
It would
Oh.
be prudent to make a
Arnold
subscase
Schwarzenegger
of
style.
Fontaine being White Wolf.
And what did I get for saving their lives?
Jeez.
So how do we get it off the truck?
Oh, jeez.
You're welcome. I called in a favor from the Wakandans.
Oh,
Fix his wings.
yeah.
Why didn't you use the metal arm?
Well, I don't always think of it immediately. I'm right-handed. So it's a boat, huh?
It's like the reluctant buddies.
Becoming more of a team.
Yeah.
I'm Bucky.
Sarah?
Hit on his sister. Smart ass.
Hey,
I'd totally grab the shield if it was sitting there.
Yeah, you'd want to check it out for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's at least one person in that book who needs closure about something, and you're the only person who can give it to him.
The old Asian guy.
Yeah.
Probably a dozen.
Oh.
Jeez.
Pretty cool effects that they got.
Yeah.
Not long ago.
Batroc?
Been dying to get
That's what I thought it was.
Sure looked like
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Bonjour.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah, could be. In a different suit for sure.
Captain America suit. Yep, making a new shield.
Yeah. Interesting.
Episode number 5. The truth shall set us free.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was more of a story-driven episode for sure. Like,
Yeah, there's very little action. The action beginning when they took out John Walker, which was
Yeah.
a cool action scene.
yeah, like I think I said, it reminded me of that Civil War fight with Iron Man, Cap, and Bucky.
Yep.
Kind of three of them battling it out. That was good. I mean, it just shows you kind of John Walker's going off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, he wasn't. Well, he definitely wasn't thinking straight. That's for sure.
No.
That was and an abrupt ending to the battle too. A little
Yeah.
more grotesque.
Well,
Snap
broke
his
an
arm.
arm and kind of crush him down. But they need to do it. They need to take him out, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's good. I mean, you know, as we see, John Walker is kind of going down his own path now, right?
Yeah, he's going down the U.S.
Agent, yeah, U.S. agent path, right? For sure, and they're definitely setting that up. I mean, you can see it. Let's talk about it right now. The cameo.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it yet,
Yeah. One of the shows we like from our era.
yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
I was totally shocked to see her.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. Elaine from Seinfeld,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. So she's playing part of the Contessa, Valentina, Allegra,
Fontaine.
Fontaine. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a mouthful. But yeah, so she's in comic lore. Former girlfriend of Nick Fury, and kind of a double agent. Worked for Shield, worked for Hydra, and one of her aliases is Madam Hydra. So if she is going to be Madam Hydra, we don't know. We don't know that. She gave her full name there, so
Yeah, it's impossible to tell which route they're going to go exactly. Probably will end up kind of heading up a rogue kind of group, I'm guessing.
yeah, and that rogue group could be the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, that you were alluding to,
Yeah.
and then some of these characters, and you said that like Baron Zemo was part of that group.
Yeah, possibly. I've heard rumors about it. Baron Zemo, and I mean, no one's seen the Black Widow movie coming out yet, but technically Natasha's sister, as they call it, is supposed to be the new Black Widow going through.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense now that they're doing that or going that route, because we were like wondering, well, is it just a prequel and how it's going to tie in? Well, they're going to maybe be tying some characters in here, so it makes sense.
Well, that's right, and I think with if the idea, if everybody remembers Thunderbolt Ross, General Thunderbolt Ross, and that's William Hurt's character, and he appeared throughout the MCU movies, and he's always been in the background character, kind of like he's kind of an anti-Avengers guy. So and he's always so he set up the Thunderbolts technically, and he becomes the Red Hulk. So and if what we've talked about before was She-Hulk, right? Going forward, if he's supposed to appear in that as Red Hulk, and they set up this kind of anti-Avengers team, you got Zemo, you got the new Black Widow, you've got U.S. Agent, you got Red Hulk. That's pretty cool.
I'm actually pretty, I didn't know where all these characters were going to go, or if we'd see different characters pop back up. And I've said it all along, we'll probably see Baron Zemo pop back up somewhere. And if this is how they bring him back, because the guy's playing part of Baron Zemo, doing a great job. I actually like where they're going with Baron Zemo, but I'm actually excited to see where they're going with this. If that's the route they're going, I'm actually looking forward to it. I wasn't sure how Phase 4 would go and what characters we'd see going forward, but bringing these other groups in,
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm looking forward to that if that's what the route they're going.
Well, and it's kind of like the Thunderbolts to me is kind of a lot like the Suicide Squad in DC, right? That kind of rogue, sort of good guys, sort of bad guys, anti-heroes.
They do things their own way, and
yeah, and so if you want to get into another offshoot of having these sets of kind of like a little bit off the rails kind of bad guys / good guys, and make them do these rogue missions, could be kind of cool. Like they skirt the law a little bit if they go that route. With all these characters, I mean, it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, is that going to be another show? Is that going to be part of the movies? I don't know which route they're going to go with that. Maybe after this series they announce a new series that's coming up.
Yeah. Other things I've kind of read, possibly that with that Secret Invasion. Are they tied into that to help bring everybody back? I mean, maybe the Avengers have been infiltrated. Who knows? I mean, it could go so many different routes. Yeah. It's pretty cool though. I mean, see some of these little lesser known characters.
Well, that that they're going to have to eventually go that route because they're running out of the mainstream characters. We've seen that Sam was trying to give the shield, or even maybe just bring out the shield to Isiah.
Yeah.
And we know that his grandson is part of the Young Avengers.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something I'm sure we're going to see down the road too. So they're kind of planting the seeds for all these different routes that they can go, and there's going to be a little lesser known characters to the mainstream, to comic fans who are hardcore Marvel fans. They'll know a lot of these characters, but to the mainstream, they're going to basically introduce the world to a lot of these characters through these movies and shows, and just build up that much more of a fan base, I'm guessing.
Well, and you think you started this whole thing with Iron Man, I mean, he was kind of technically, I know he's part of the Avengers, but he's kind of a B character.
He wasn't one of the main characters that the general public really knew about.
I mean, yeah, everybody knew
like Hulk and Captain America,
Thor. You know, I mean, you knew of those characters, you know, right away, and there's kind of their big ones, right?
Yeah, because we even talked about it before on here.
Yeah.
Then when I was growing up as a comic, reading comic books, Iron Man was like, I think he sucked, but
No.
he just was like one of those guys like, I don't really care about Iron Man.
Yeah.
But then when they came with Iron Man the movie, I was like blown away. If like they can make Iron Man this cool, what are they gonna do with the rest?
Well, that's right, and I think you're introducing these little bit part characters, like, you know, so Louis-Dreyfus's character is another small cog in the wheel, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that you're bringing this character in, and she's a great actress.
Yep.
So getting her in, I mean, they just cast awesomely.
Yeah, and you know they're just building up these characters and you know building on the characters and making them into something. Like you said, like Iron Man wasn't a-list character.
No.
He sure as hell is now.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's what they're going to do with a lot of these characters. We'll see a lot of whether it be. I'm not sure if you can necessarily make them into where they're not necessarily going to be as big as a Hulk and Iron Man, but you get Baron Zemo and things like that into these groups. You kind of blow up your characters a little bit to the point where people who care about them are following them, and their property value just skyrockets, right? Because they're lesser known characters who've never really drawn in an audience.
That's right.
But the way they're doing it, I think that they could possibly do that.
Oh yeah. And like I said, I think you're just opening the door to a whole bunch of different ways of doing it. Thoughts on the kind of Isiah and Sam and the racial undertones of the show? I mean,
I've always you kind of got to tread lightly on the politics in shows.
Yeah.
Because it does turn off a lot of people from the shows. I don't think they've gone too far with it or anything. I like the way they've done it.
Absolutely.
And it makes you it's not just a fluff piece then, right? It's not just a nothing show. They take the real world politics and make you think about how it would affect these people.
Oh, yeah.
And I do like that. I absolutely do like that. It made Sam question what he was doing and how he was doing things.
Yeah.
And that's never a bad thing, to question and make sure you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I do like where they've gone with it. I just hope they don't ever go over the line. And I don't think they have really too much.
No.
I've seen a lot of stuff online where they think that people are kind of turned off from it. They're going in certain routes with that and pushing certain views or politics. But I don't think they have gone over that line, personally.
I don't think so either. Yeah. And I think you're just throwing substance to the show. And
real world substance.
Yeah, I mean, struggles with keeping a business afloat, the racial, injustices that have happened.
What they have to deal with.
Yeah, over the years, over the centuries.
Yeah.
And I think it's great because you're going to get a view of someone like Isiah who's went through all the injustices in his life, and he's jaded.
And you understand his view of it, but
yeah,
you understand Sam's view because
yeah.
he grew up in a different time, but he's learning from the past.
Oh, for sure. And so he's taking it as a learning moments, is developing his own, what he wants to stand for. And I think that's awesome because, I love it. Like, there's like Cap and Sam, like Steve Rogers and Sam were best buddies. They're friends. There was no seeing different colors there. It was just like, didn't matter.
They didn't look at it that way.
You look at each other as friends, as compadres. And I think and that's the way Sam kind of sees a lot of the relationships, instead of just, hey, this is black and white. And I appreciate that he has that view, but yet he's going to listen to the old and what other people.
And he's learning from the past, at least. Yeah, his view, he sees his own view, but his eyes are opened up as to what other people have kind of gone through. He can talk and say this has happened before, but when he gets to talk to Isiah and see what he truly went through, it kind of jades him a little bit, but at the same time, he learns from it and becomes even that much more of a better person, or he can kind of steer his character, like his own self, in a direction where he's trying to do the best for everybody, white people, black people, but he
what does he want to stand for is kind of his.
But he does want to still, accept what's happened with black people in the past,
No.
and he just wants to be a better version of that and better the world going forward. He truly is, as I think Bucky kind of alluded to, he's that person that Steve gave the shield off to for a reason, and he is kind of got a pure heart, sort of.
Yeah, and I think it's great, and you get that little teaser at the end with the case getting opened up, and obviously the Wakandans crafted up something for him.
That's got to be his Captain America suit.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great reveal.
I'm kind of pumped to see what it looks like.
Yeah,
I think it'll probably look great.
Yeah, and he's practicing with the shield and getting that down. So I mean, I think he's gonna embrace this role as he's Captain America, and good. And I think everybody can look up and say, okay, there he is. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got the teaser at the end of John Walker forging his own shield.
Yeah, I don't know what it's made of.
Like I said, I think we kind of discussed that. I think it's probably just going to be, basic old steel or metal.
Iron.
It is basically, but because vibranium doesn't just grow on trees, so
No,
it's not going to be anything like that, unless he somehow got a hold of it. But it doesn't look like he's welding it and everything like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think he's kind of jaded with the whole process and how he was treated, but I think he's looking at it from a very skewed view.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know exactly where they go with him. Like, are they gonna,
We're gonna see him in this
For sure.
in this last episode, because he's kidding himself. It was Carly that hit.
Well, I think he knows that. I think he's just
Yeah,
telling people to.
Yeah, I think he wants to go and get retribution for that.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
I think 100% he's going after her.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I mean, and he doesn't want anything standing in his way, right? So
No.
So he's equipping himself, and so we're gonna have a couple new outfits next episode, and we're gonna conclude it, I guess.
Yeah. Do we get a full-on conclusion of those characters, or just this arc with Carly? Because I think we're gonna see, like you said, we're gonna see a lot of these characters going forward. I think we'll still see John Walker after this.
Well, and that is the question: is it going to be concluded? You're right. At the end of this, or is there a setup for season 2 or setup for movies? I don't know what movie it's leading into.
Or a side show, like you said, like maybe with John Walker and we get Baron Zemo and all these different characters.
Yeah,
we get a bunch of different these side shows going forward,
Yeah.
because all the movies have basically been announced, but they can announce more Disney Plus shows
Yeah.
that they don't want to announce ahead of time
No.
and give away
Well,
what's
you can't.
happening.
You can't. So you're right. Like just like in the end of the Mandalorian when you had the Book of Fett, right?
Yep.
So I mean, you could have something like this where it's like Falcon Winter Soldier return here, or look at what's next.
Or coming next to Thunderbolts. Or
Yeah.
You don't know, and
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
I like it. I mean, it keeps us guessing, right?
Episode 5 in the books.
It's a done deal, and story driven episode for sure.
Yep. Going forward, last episode, lots of story to close off, and I still think we're going to see a lot of more questions arise and possibly lead into more Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, a few more doors open, and where do we conclude? Is it the end of this series, or is it going more into the movies, or like you said, more shows afterwards?
Who knows where it's going to lead? What do you guys think? Leave some questions, comments, theories in the comment section below. Definitely love to hear from you. See your thoughts, hear your thoughts, see your. We're not going to see them. We're going to hear them. Who knows where we're going to go?
Yeah, and like I said, we want to hear from you guys. Make sure you send us a message. We'll definitely reply. And we want to thank you for coming along for the ride today. And we will see you next time.